Hey guys, welcome back to the Mini Gravedigger Monster Truck build. You are watching the Moto Mule YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. As you can see in this picture, I picked up an old Barbie Power Wheels Jeep. This, my friends, will be the first of hopefully many Power Wheels that the Mini Gravedigger will get to crush. In the last episode of this build, I showed you guys this side panel with the custom tombstones that have names of other YouTube channels that I watch on them. Again, I'll put links to all these channels in the description below. I got to give a shout out to a few of the smaller channels such as DragoWorks, Badger Canyon Motorsports, and DIY Motorsport. What I didn't yet have done in the last video was the other side panel. On this panel, I kept some of the tombstones the same, but I changed up 11 of them. So, I get to pay my respects to 11 more channels on this side. I'll shout out a few of the smaller ones like GoKarts or Gone Fishing, Tas Tuned, Mike Festiva, and AGK Racing. Once again, I'll add links to all these channels shown here in the description below. Don't you fret. I got more done in the past few weeks than just adding a few stickers. Get comfy, because I got a lot to show you this week. First off, I teased you in the last video with this picture of a Samurai third member. So as you might expect, the Mini Gravedigger is now truly four-wheel drive. I picked up a complete set of Samurai axles from a friend. He had grenaded the rear end, so I got the whole set for a great price. What I really needed was the third member from the front, which happened to have the 538-to-1 gears that I needed, plus a Lock-Right locker. Bonus! To be completely honest, the biggest bonus was not having to set up the gears myself. To make a long story short, I tore apart the Gravedigger's narrow front axle housing, stuffed in the new third member. While I had it all apart, I cleaned everything up and re-greased all the bearings. I slid in the inner axles and mounted the locking hubs for the first time. I reinstalled the brakes, and she is now ready to rock and roll. Another exciting milestone. We've got a complete front axle. The Mini Gravedigger is truly four-wheel drive now. It's got a front driveline in there. I had to make an adapter to adapt the Suzuki Samurai U-joint to the output flange that was on the quad engine. So I made a disc that will double as that adapter and a rotor for a parking brake. Alright, added a panel to cover up all the ugly wiring and the engine in there and everything. It still has the white vinyl on it to protect the aluminum. I will go ahead and paint it black, and it'll be a good place to stuff the sponsorship stickers. And then you can also see here, added a couple steps, so kind of figure, one foot on the bottom step, the opposite foot on the tire, and then back up with the other foot here, and then they can climb inside. The boys really wanted a roof too, so, well, I made them a roof. I don't have a sheet metal brake or a pinch roller, so I'll show you how I made the bends on the end of this roof panel. You might notice all the Sharpie lines drawn on the underside of this panel. You'll see why they're there in a second. Since I don't have a sheet metal brake or roller, I bent the ends of the roof panel with my bead roller. This method of bending does leave several faint lines in the bend area. So, if you need a completely smooth roll in a panel, this is not your method. For me, a few lines didn't matter, so I went for it. Plus, this method is much easier than hammering the panel around one of my welding gas bottles. Yes, I'm guilty of doing that in the past. I'm sure you could make or purchase some different rolls for the bead roller to do this process with even better results. I just used a common 1/4 inch bead roll. It turned out great for this project. This gravedigger is more likely to roll over on its top than it is to be in a car show, so I dare say it's perfect for this project. Before we can get too rowdy with this thing, this radiator needs a fan on it. I grabbed the stock fan out of the utility quad and made a mounting disc for it. I welded in a few scraps of flat bar and suspended the fan above the radiator. Even got it all wired into the wiring harness. Speaking of the wiring harness, this mess needs some serious help. Okay, diving right in. Already got a good mess going on here. Got the schematics out. And does it mean you're old if you need glasses and a magnifying glass to read them? Got all the tools of the trade here. Soldering iron, heat shrink tube, heat gun. We'll get it figured out. Oh, what a pain. Look at the weight reduction I got on the floor. Nice and tidy. Alright, I got the wiring all cleaned up, much simpler now, and it just kind of comes up into one big harness up under here. So now I need to make a dash. I'll show you something kind of fun here. I changed the ignition to a regular automotive style, where you just turn the key to the on position and then turn it further to start, rather than the handlebar controls where you turn the key in one place and push the button somewhere else. But you'll see I got a little LED there for the neutral light, and then it's got a different LED. There's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Oh, I need to roll it. Fifth gear. It's pretty cool. Fourth, third, second, first, neutral. Alright, check it out. I added the chrome pipes off of the Power Wheels Gravedigger chassis and got them mounted to the steps on this thing. It turned out pretty good. I really like them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright guys, be sure to go check out all these other YouTube channels that I have resting in peace on the tombstones gracing the sides of the mini gravedigger. There are of course many more that I wish I could have paid my respects to, but my old vinyl cutter just couldn't make these things any smaller and allow me to have even more on display. Like I mentioned before, all the links to their channels are in the description below. I'm going to work on building a dash so I can mount all the switches and indicators. Then I can put this thing all back together and test out the four-wheel drive. Should we crush the pink Jeep in the next video? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.